And there's something brewing in Philly, and it ain't pretty. We know how the season ended for Ben Simmons. Afraid to shoot the ball, passed up a big-time layup or dunk, whatever he would have done with it to pass to Matisse Thybulle late in that series against Atlanta. They obviously lose to Atlanta in the second round. Very disappointing season for the Sixers. Doc Rivers, after the series, questions whether or not he can win a championship with Ben Simmons as his point guard. Joel Embiid points out the play.
Right.
Points out the play, like that was the turning point when we passed up that layup, And
when the 6'10" guy at the rim passed up a basket. Chris,
and Ben Simmons, the talk has been should the Sixers trade him, and now there are reports that Ben don't want to go back, that Ben has cut off all communication with the Sixers. He's not talking to him. He's not answering Joel Embiid's calls.
You know how I get him to call us if I was the organization, and I don't know how they do it, Chris. Some people get paid, right? Players only during the season. Some people get paid throughout 12 months. Am I right? Like some people can have it either way where you get paid.
Some get their whole check at the beginning of the year.
Right. It's different ways of getting paid. But if he was getting it for the 12 months, I would stop payment on the check, and then I bet you he would call. I bet you he'd pick up the phone and call. It's unprofessional.
You're right. I mean, and now they are in touch with his agent, Rich Paul, but
I'm paying you. I want to talk to you. I want to talk to you.
That's part of your job.
Yes.
If I need to talk to you about something, that's part of your job.
Yes.
You can't just ignore me.
Just exactly. I would have a problem with that, Chris. I don't want somebody calling me every 5 minutes or every day. But if your boss, if Scott calls, we got to talk to him at some point, right?
You can't just ignore. Exactly. No doubt about it. And here's the thing, Rob. I agree with everything you just said. But beyond that, I think this is problematic. And look, I've talked to GMs recently who say, I'd love to have Ben Simmons. So there's some that don't want him there because, I don't want nobody that ain't going to shoot, that's scared to shoot. So it's very opinion around the league. But there are a good number of guys that still want him. And this, Rob, this don't look good, though, if I'm a team interested in Ben Simmons. I'm not saying it's going to stop me from trading for him and all that, but it's certainly not helping his value on the market because, to me, Rob, you're not looking in the mirror. I get it. Doc Rivers may have upset you with that comment, right? I get that. I get it. Joel Embiid may have upset you with that comment. Okay. But at some point, I do have to look in the mirror and say, you know what? I didn't deliver. I didn't only not deliver, Rob. I didn't just miss shots. I didn't just have a bad game. I didn't want to shoot the basketball.
Right.
I ran from the basketball. I missed free throw after free throw after free throw. I got to look. Come on, Rob. I'm not saying, I don't care who you are. I don't care how great you think you are or maybe how great you actually are. Everybody has got to be able to look in the mirror and say, you know what? It's on me. If it is on you, right? Michael Jordan, what did we see in The Last Dance, Rob? When they kept getting beat by Detroit, what did he say? I wasn't strong enough. I couldn't take the pounding. I had to go in the weight room and hit the weights. What did LeBron do after he lost to Dallas, largely because he didn't show up?
He ripped the fans. Oh, no, that's something else.
Well, that too, but he stayed in his room for 2 weeks. And he looked in the mirror and said, I talked to those guys during that time. I got to be a better person. They went that deep. LeBron went that deep. I got to be a better person, a better father, a better husband. He wasn't married at that time, but better boyfriend, whatever. He looked that deep. Something's up. I got to fix this. And Ben Simmons is not, I think, Rob, I haven't talked to him, but this type of act where you acting like the Sixers are at fault, again, fine, they made a few bad comments. But Ben, you got to look in the mirror, man, and say, I didn't get it done. And I'm gonna work on whatever I got to work on to get it done next time.
No, I agree, and you don't have to be perfect. No one's asking you that everything goes right. You just got to be held accountable that you want to make an improvement. You're a young guy. You have your whole career in front of you. It ain't over, right? But to retreat and to act like you just don't want to be bothered. Dude, we don't want to be bothered with paying you. Seriously. Like, if you're not going to be engaged.
If I'm paying you, right? Absolutely.
If you're not going to be engaged in this, it ain't going to work. It ain't going to work. And you can't, I'm sorry, I don't care how talented you are. Sometimes, Chris, you got to say, well, this is not going to work with us. We can hold on to him because he's a talent and be afraid of letting him go somewhere else. But if he can't work with us, we're not going to win anyway. I'm like, seriously.
Look, they're trying to trade him. And, Daryl Morey's custom since he's been in the league is to ask high. And he's asking for outlandish stuff that there's no way they're getting. But he's going to come down. He's hoping that Damian Lillard will become available or Bradley Beal. So I think they're going to trade him. And here's the other thing, Rob. Ben Simmons is saying he wants to play for a team in California. He doesn't want to play for Portland. What's the other one, Rob G? He doesn't want to play for Portland. Who else? He doesn't want to play for Toronto. He wants to play for a California team. Obviously, the Lakers don't have anything to get him. The Clippers don't have really anything to get him. So you're looking at Golden State. But, Rob, honestly, I'm like, dude, we're going to trade you to what's best for us, especially when you aren't even talking to us. I mean, we're going to do that anyway. But, Ben, this isn't smart because if Ben, Rob, sometimes a team will work with you, right? Now, I still think they got to do what's best for them. But I think, Rob, if Damian Lillard goes to Portland and says, look, can you guys, let's work out a trade. I really, I'm getting older. I want to play for a championship team. I want to play for a champion. I think they'll work with him. They'll try at least to get him to remember, Oklahoma City got Chris Paul to Phoenix. Like, there are instances where a team will try when you behave professionally. So I don't even think Ben is helping his cause in that regard.
But You said it. You got to act professionally. I'm not going to bend over backwards or do something for you when you're not being cooperative or trying to help the situation. It looks bad that he won't talk to them. Do you know what I mean?
Right.
Like that makes it harder to think that this guy, what makes somebody think that if he's acting like that to them and they're paying him $40 million a year, what's he going to do when he comes here?
Yep. Absolutely.